Welcome to Toffee TV. It's 3 talking points. Everton 0, Norwich City 2 at Goodison today. Another woeful game of football that Everton have been involved in. Real disappointment. So let's get into it. Talking point 1, leadership or lack of leadership at Everton Football Club, particularly on the pitch. And just a real poor, showing from the team. And nobody, you look around that team, nobody is geeing anybody else up. There's nobody barking orders. There's nobody grabbing players into position. When it just seems as though the minute we go behind or the minute something doesn't go our way, everybody just goes with the shirt, or people look down, or people have their heads down. Just really poor. These are a lot of very good footballers in Everton squad, but no heart, no fight, and no leadership. You should not be losing at home to Norwich City. No disrespect to Norwich, but we shouldn't. We spent a lot of money to try and have this team challenging for Europe and the Champions League. It is nowhere near, for the simple reason that they can't construct a team. There's not enough fighting spirit. There's not enough desire in the side. There's good players, without a shadow of a doubt, but the top players play all the time to their level, all the time, and that's what makes them top players. We've got players that, when they feel like it, they click and they're a good side. But this season, it's getting worse. 7 defeats in 13 is awful, absolutely awful. And today's the latest one of that. And there is a lack of leadership for me. There's nobody in that team who drags people together, pulls the team together, or roll your sleeves up. It just, we've got Gylfi Sigurdsson as the captain today. He's not been in a team. He got back in the team against Southampton, basically because Bernard's injured. And he's the captain. How? How does that work? Absolute madness. That for me is the captain. He's a technically a good footballer. He's a little bit too slow for my liking, but technically he's a good footballer. He's not a captain. He really isn't. We've had Luca Dean, the captain. Just give it to Davis or give it to someone and go, you're the captain. Gylfi Sigurdsson shouldn't be the captain, and that, to me, just reflects in the lack of leadership in that team. Second thing I want to talk about today is the substitutions. One in particular, fair enough, he wanted to bring on Alex Iwobi, who should have started as far as I was concerned in midfield. Fair enough, and obviously the natural fit for that would have been Schneiderlin, would have been Sigurdsson off. But obviously Schneiderlin was very, very lucky. He should have been sent off, no question about it. He's on a booking. He drags Pucky for some reason, ridiculously. The referee sees it, but because Norwich are on the break into our box, he lets play go on. Now, I don't know what the rules are with that. I thought when it went out, he was going to send them off. I don't know whether you can, so that's me and my ignorance there. But Schneiderlin was very lucky to stay on the pitch. He should have been sent off. But the manager took him off, which is fair enough. He brought Iwobi on, and he brought Dominic CalvertLewin on. But then the next sub should have been Moise Kean, because we are 1-0 down at home to the team, bottom of the league, who struggle to keep clean sheets. And he brings on Seamus Coleman for Sidderby. Now, Sidderby wasn't injured. He shook his head. He was fuming when he ran off. Coleman come on. I don't understand what that was for. We needed Moise Kean on. We took Walcott off. We took, you've got an attacking player in Theo Walcott, and we're taking him off. Alex Iwobi's better through the middle of the park. If you wanted to take Schneiderlin off, it should have been Iwobi, Davis and Sigurdsson in midfield. We were getting beat anyway, 1-0. But trying to create things, it should have been Moise Kean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. They should have been the front three. Tosin should have gone off, not Sidderby, for me. And that, to me, was really poor substitutions, and didn't help us at all. Coleman didn't offer anything, really, that Sidderby wouldn't have been offering. So, I don't know. It was just, to me, it was you might disagree, but I just couldn't believe it. 1-0 down, and we need forward players on. What we had up there were doing nothing. Cenk Tosun, bless him, he's just not quick enough for the Premier League. I don't know, just poor, in my opinion, really poor. And the third thing, listen, I spoke to someone after the game, at Blue Nose after the game. You know who you are, in the concourse, and he said to me, you could pick 1 to 11 talking points tonight, couldn't you? With that starting lineup and the manager. And we're at the stage now where we have to ask ourselves, and listen, a lot of people have been asking this for a while, and I've battered it off on being fully behind the manager. But as a football club, we need to look now and go, where do we go from here? I've just seen a tweet about the 6 games we've lost the 7 defeats we've had this season, and 6 of them are to Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Sheffield United, Brighton, Burnley and Norwich. We've lost those 6 games. That to me should be 18 points without a shadow, without even having to think about it. They should be 18 points. If you're trying to get to the top 4, top 6, whatever, and you've spent the money Everton have, most of those games should be victories. We lost all 6. And in 4 of those 6, or 4 of the 7 games this season, we haven't scored a goal in. We've the 3 promoted teams have beaten us 2-0 this season, which is embarrassing in itself. 2 of them have won at Goodison Park 2-0. You know, so where do we go from here? The manager's in place. We've spent money. We're changing the team every couple of weeks. There's no style of play. And that to me is a very frustrating thing. We played West Ham the other week, and he picked a team that was fluid midfield. Now I know he's lost Bernard and Andre Gomez, I know that, but we could still play the same style, the same way, so that players know roughly what we're doing. But we change it, we go back to defensive midfield, and Gylfi comes back in and it's slow, and then Tosin's in, or it's Calvert-Lewin, or it's Richarlison through the middle. No one can get into any rhythm, and this is because we're not playing the way he wants us to play. So he's trying to throw everything at it. It just lacks a plan to me. That's how it seems anyway. And I've backed him and said, no, you know, he's been unlucky. He's lost Gabam, he's lost Gomez. He hasn't. Delph hasn't been fit. He has been unfortunate, and Bernard. But I've said it before. Sometimes it feels as though we're starting again with him, and it shouldn't be the case 18 months down the line. It should be following a plan. You know, and the club has to decide, I suppose, where we go from here. Away from the manager, those players have to decide whether they have got the bottle to put a run together. Do they question each other off the pitch? Are they sitting together going, what is going on? How are we losing games to squads less talented than us? What are they doing that we're not? Are they working harder than us? Are they more together as a team? Are they better creatively than we are? Because we can blame the manager, and that's fine. I've got no issue with people having to go with the manager. He was shocking today. But the players have to ask themselves the same question. If you're a player and you like your manager, you go out and run your plums off for him, and you make sure that you give everything. Did our players give everything today? Some did, some didn't. I don't think they did. It doesn't look like it hurts people enough. And that is a problem. It's an issue. And when you spent a lot of money, we seem to, as a football club, have stepped away from the values that we had that made us difficult to beat. You know, and I know it's changed. It started going like that since David Moyes left. Martinez softened us up a bit, and Koeman was different. Allardyce, less said about him, the better. And I thought with Silva, the hunger, the desire, the energy that he would bring would transmit even this season, but it just isn't. And 7 defeats in 13 when we haven't played anyone is very worrying. We're going in now to a period where we could easily lose another 6 games. Quite easily in this next month or so. And that'd be 13 defeats at Christmas. So it's terrifying when you look at it like that. I'm confident, listen, we're 5 points off Europe, but we're going into a run of games that are very difficult to see if we'll win them. Now, I always say I'm confident we can beat anyone at home, and I am, but we've just been beaten by Norwich City at home, and that's terrifying. Where they were bottom of the league, hadn't won an away game, scored 1 goal away, and they've come and beat us 2-0, and they'll go home and go, wasn't that tough a game, really? So I think the club needs to ask itself, where's it going tonight, and is there a plan? Is there enough signs of improvement and enough evidence that this is moving forward? And that's the question it has to ask itself. The fans made their feelings pretty clear in that stadium tonight. Let's see what the club do. Make sure you check out the other match reaction videos, and Ped's player rating should be entertaining. Give us a subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the Duncan Ferguson interview if you haven't. It's brilliant. Forget about football, current football, and just go and have a watch of that one. It might take your mind off it. Otherwise, have a good weekend. See you later.